is the time to submit your original Christmas song.
The Who is You. If you're a songwriter and would love to be a part of our Christmas compilation project, then you're in the right place.
Where can you submit? GMIHub.ca is the place. Please visit our website at GMIHub.ca and click on Family Christmas to find out how you can submit your song today.
You could be a part of the GMI Hub Family Christmas Volume 4.
Buddy, welcome. It's GMI Hub online. I'm so glad you're here to join us. Tonight is a studio talk night, and we're going to be talking about song production from a producer's point of view. But before I introduce my co-host and my guest, I just want to remind you that if this is your first time, welcome for viewing us. And we want to encourage you to hit the like button and subscribe button when you are here, because you are going to so enjoy and so learn from this whole process. We are literally going to take a sample song, and we're going to have two producers go through this and go through each step of what they do to make us take a song from a little ditty to a song that could be potentially on charts and on the radio. So I also want to remind you that if you are not familiar with GMI Hub, feel free to check out all the videos that we have on our YouTube channel. You're going to learn so much. We've had the pleasure of interviewing so many awesome people, and we'd love you to go through that. You learn about technical stuff. You learn about marketing and producing. You learn about songwriting and creative. There's so much for you to learn. So go ahead and check those out. Also, go to our website, GMIHub.ca, where you can learn about the different projects that we are doing. If you might have seen it a few seconds ago, we're actually doing a Christmas compilation. So go to GMIHub.ca to learn more about that project and how you can be a part of that. We also offer a lot of other things. We want to help you. We want to connect with you. So we ask that you go there and you also click the join us button, because we, again, want to connect with you. We also want to celebrate with you when you have something to celebrate. So if you are releasing a song or you have an event, we want to be able to take that information, and we want to share that, help share the word about that. So please go ahead to gmihub.ca and hit the join us button, because once you're on our list, we look out for you, and that gives you an opportunity to connect with us. So that's one big thing. Anyway, and I also want to mention another thing. We do artist showcases. And so if you are an artist and you have original music, please, again, check out gmihub.ca and click the connect us, and we would love for you to send us a message saying that you're interested in being a part of our artist showcases. It doesn't matter where you are. We can either have you live where we're located here in Ontario, or we can stream you in from wherever you are. So please go ahead and do that. Okay, so let's get to this particular program, and let me introduce to you my co-host, my fabulous husband, Daryl Dewick. Daryl.
Hello, how are you?
Good, we're good. How are you doing?
As you're on the other side of the house, so I don't get kicked under the table. It's been a good day. We've got a wonderful panel. One gentleman from London, England, another one from New York. So it's great to do that. But when we're traveling all those distances and doing all the streaming, sometimes we have some little bit of technical issues, but I think we got most of it worked out. If not, it doesn't matter. We're still going to learn. We're still going to network. Opens up to ask questions online on the YouTube channel, or you can email us or the other guests. I think that's probably the best way to start that off with.
Hey, are we on Facebook today or no?
I thought we were, but I didn't see it. But we were running late, so I just threw it up as I'm not in the screen, but because I'm checking multiple computers out at the same time. But if not, if you are on YouTube and you're watching, you can share it on Facebook anyways. You can do that.
Absolutely. We'd love for you to share it. Anyway, so should we introduce our lovely guests?
Definitely, because it's not about me.
Okay.
You didn't watch the program because of me. Not at all.
Oh, I'm sure a lot of people you work with want to watch the program because of you, Daryl.
Yes, and it's not because of my looks either.
Well, let's bring our guests in here. So, as you mentioned, we have a guest all the way from London, England. I'm so glad that he's able to join us. We have Oleg Golovetsky. I hope I said that your name right. I'm trying. If I said it wrong, I'm sorry. But Oleg is here. He's no stranger to us. He was back with us in September, I think, when he was actually in Greece connecting with us. It was at 2 a.m. in Greece time. But today he's in England and it's not so late. So I'm so glad he's able to join us with this particular episode. Oleg, say hello to everybody and unmute your mic.
Hey everyone. Thanks for having me.
That's great having you back. And also no stranger to us, we have Randy Hitz, a producer of Hitz Productions from Long Island, New York. Randy has graced us with his presence on many occasions, and we're always so glad to have him back. We love his heart. We love his input. So welcome back, Randy. So glad to see you.
Hello, guys. It's good to see everyone. It's been a little while. Let's see. Well, it's Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Valentine's Day. I just want to get them all out of the way. Well, for you guys, it was, let's see, Canada's different. But anyway, it's good to see you.
Well, Christmas, Thanksgiving.
What was it, Race Day? I forget what it is in Canada.
Oh, no, don't go there.
Oh
no. It's just good. It's been a while. It's good to see you guys.
Good to see you too,
It's
Randy.
awesome. You're like family. You guys are like family.
Oh.
Okay. So just to set this up. So what has happened, just to set this episode up, is we sent Oleg and Randy a sample song. It's just a sample chorus that we sent to them. And we're using that sample song as the basis of this conversation. So basically, we're treating this as if someone just says, hey, I have an idea for a song. They go to a producer and they say, help me make this song work. How do we do this? So literally, Randy and Oleg are going to share their ideas and kind of share the thought process that they go through in order to help a song get from a ditty to a song that's at least playable on a radio station or in a public setting. So where do we begin?
Where do we begin? I think we need to have you read the lyrics.
I need to read the lyrics.
Or say the lyrics if you have them memorized, since I think you were the one who wrote them.
Okay. So the song is a sample Christmas song that has never been previously produced or previously released. This is just the chorus that we have sent to them. The lyrics say, church bells ring, everybody's singing, Christmas carols in whatever key they hear it in, hopes are high, love's in the air, because Christmas is calling, Christmas is calling. So those are the lyrics of the songs. If you want to play the sample, go ahead and play the sample. But
I think before we do that, let's get their opinion on the lyrics. As a producer, I walk up and I give you the song or some lyrics and going, hey, please make this a #1 hit. What would you do? Is that a good start for a lyric, or would you rewrite that? You like
Oleg,
it as it is?
heads or tails? You or me?
Go ahead. I'm good for now.
Okay. Cheryl, say the first phrase of the chorus.
Church bells ring.
Classic, works every time. Next.
Everybody's singing.
Works for Christmas every time. I'm still hearing the Christmas jingle bell, which you can only use once a year, except if you're in the theater, and you can use it whenever you want. Anyway, next.
Christmas carols in whatever key they hear it in.
I mean,
I know what key it will be in. It's got to be in the key of D for dingling.
See, I need to make the sound. I really need to get my sound effects put in here. Well, obviously, because of what we're doing, it's in whatever key you hear it in. It's kind of like a tongue-in-cheek lyric because we're doing it in that. Obviously, that would change in a real song because then you'd have a whole bunch of people singing in different keys, and that wouldn't work. But anyway, continue. Next.
Hopes are high, love's in the air.
Okay, and next.
Christmas is calling, Christmas is calling.
Christmas is calling everywhere.
Everywhere. Ah.
Now listen to the line before that.
Hopes are high, love's in the air. Christmas is calling.
Is calling everywhere.
Everywhere. Ah. Very nice.
What do you think of that?
I wish there could be a mic drop right now.
I'm not, just so you know, I'm not that good. That just popped into my head. It just, first of all, before we go on, there's one thing that's a problem with me, and it works real good for Christmas songs. Sadly, I write in rhyme a lot, and it's not a good thing. That's old school stuff right there. But when I heard that, the first thing that came to my mind was, you shouldn't do it. Christmas is calling repetitive. You should make it flow. So Christmas is calling everywhere to bounce from the lyric before it. I don't know. What do you think of that?
Love it.
Okay. Then you can keep it.
Awesome.
And that would change the structure of how the chorus would play out because it would shorten it just a hair.
Yeah.
It might give it a little bit of like kick, you know?
Okay. Awesome. Oleg, what were your thoughts? What would you change?
Well, I definitely like the approach that, you took, Randy, because I think it's about Christmas and every Christmas song rhymes and they rhyme a lot. So, you can't go wrong with, air everywhere, here, there, and etc. So, I think that's what I would focus on maybe at this point with this particular excerpt. And just probably. But I mean, if I'll be honest with you, my approach is always when I receive a lyric, I just, close myself in the room and start writing a song for it first. And then the second thing would be to go and start readjusting the lyrics if that's necessary. And there's this great songwriter I'm working with right now. We're writing our 16th song right now for the past year and a half. And we found that the best way is for us to first try and lay whatever they had on top and get the feeling of what's working and what's not. And usually I would sing myself. I'm a terrible singer, I'll tell you straight away. But the reason why I do it, because when I get a proper singer introduced, they get this elevated feeling of gloriness. And so they get a much better job done later on down the line. But we get that out of the way first. Try to see how well whatever they had in their head works with the music. And then if that doesn't work, then we adjust, or I suggest primarily, if I'll be honest with you, and then they go away for maybe a day or two and start, with the thoughts with a guide that I've introduced or given them, they just go away and start working on it, spend a day or two. But whatever Randy did, honestly, only deserves an applause from me for sure.
Oh, shucks. It's, we're just taking a small sample, little tiny sample size, but I just heard that, so whatever. But it's funny because you're talking about the way you go about writing. Like my personal writing with the lead singer that I've worked with for years is weird because I've had some songs that I've written soup to nuts, lyric, music, a whole 9 yards. There's been some other songs that I've literally given him scratch melodies of verse and chorus and said, okay, here's the phrasing. Verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, blah, blah, blah. Just go down because I can map it out in my head pretty much the way I want the song to lay out. I'll give him the scratch, and he writes the lyrics to it. Now, I have some lyrics that I've never had music to, so everything is always, every instance can be different. I mean, and that's not the rule of thumb, because it's whatever works for the people that are working at that time.
Yep.
You know, if that's what makes you comfortable, if you sit there and you chop it out, if you have couple people that can sit around and write together, great. I unfortunately don't have that opportunity because I don't have really time most of the time. So we bounce ideas back and forth. And the loveliness of the internet is you can take files and send them off to your friends, and they can work at them in their house and send them back to you again. But I mean, that's given, honestly, a lot of flexibility for people who do writing. And there are other thoughts in there. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself on this, but we'll jump into some of the things here in a little bit. But I see where Oleg's going. I mean, that's a great way to write. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, it's just all, and I don't know, it's just weird because it's like I'm writing on acoustic a lot for the basis of a song, just to get the rhythm together. Some of my songs are actually keyboards. They're a piano bass, but I don't play piano. So like one of the songs, I got the structure, the chords on the guitar. I sat down with the keyboardist and worked with him and said, yep, that structure works. Now we got to change that. We worked until he wrote the piano score out. It's never the same, which I think is great, because then your creativity is endless.
Right. Okay.
Just shut up the room. By the way, just so you know, I'm ADHD, so I will blurt a lot of information out in this short period of time.
Look, right now I'm just holding myself back because I'm in the same mood right now. So yeah, I know if I start. Yeah, it's either one of us talk, the other one just shows, or the other way around. So yeah.
Okay, so we just spoke about the lyrics, and I love your approach. And so, Randy, what I did in adopting your ensuring that rhyming happens, I remembered someone else gave me a suggestion about the first two lines, because the first two lines were church bells ring, everybody singing, and someone suggested make it ringing, singing, so that rhyme happens. So based on what you were saying, you're basically saying, yeah, that should happen too. Yes?
Yeah. It should, but it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. It can be the way it was originally. You don't have to choke it. I learned something a long time ago. If you put things into a box, it never has breath.
Right.
You're never allowed to. You can make a lyric where the back end of it rhymes, the front end doesn't. Who's to tell you right from wrong? It's like, who knows what a hit's going to be? I sure don't. I've recorded a bunch of stuff, like, who am I to tell you what's going to work and what isn't? As long as it flows, who cares? As long as it, that's the key. It's got to make sense and flow. Guys have given me songs that they've done, and it's just like, oh, the writing is just so poor. And I tell them also, not to get too far, make sure things are in time, make sure things flow, make sure that it makes sense. It doesn't run on. That's a big one. With inexperienced writers, songs that run on for 10 minutes and don't go anywhere. I'm sure you've all seen that. And it's just like, oh, I don't want to hurt this person's feelings, but I'm over here going,
Okay.
You know what I mean, right? You guys have had that. Come on now. What do you think of my epic song?
You know what my rule of thumb is? If you give it to me as a completed thing, great. Because I can't write songs. That's not where I am. So more power to you. But if you bring it to me and you sit during production, you go, "What do you think?" Then I have been known to say, "You want me to tell you what you want to hear, or do you actually want my opinion? And that all of a sudden they pause, and it's like, guys that really know me put on their big boy pants, and I critique it not to rip it apart, but I will go into it and actually tell them why I think this is wrong, or it's good, or it's not good, and some of the just the simple technical stuff. But the creativity side, it's creativity. That's your little
there's so
project.
many aspects. There's so many aspects to this. We're just talking about the songwriting itself right now, but getting it to translate to be something that would make sense, that you really kind of, it's weird because I write stuff that has intros on them. And sometimes people saying, if you're not catching my attention in like within 10 seconds, these days, a lot of kids just click on. They go, click. I watch my son do that all the time. It drives me nuts. He'll do 10, 15-second blurbs of a song, and he'll click. He's like, oh, yeah, click, next. It's like, let it go for a minute. Just at least give it a shot. But the microwave mentality of the youth today is everything's instantaneous. So if you're not coming out of the gate getting them, chances are you're not going to get very far. And it's sad, because the days of creative writing, giving nice introductions, nice intros and feels and everything, sadly, most of that's gone now. I hope it comes back, but if you look at most of modern music, it doesn't work, play out that way.
Well, I strongly agree with you, but then I want to agree to disagree, because I think what we're discussing now is popular music.
Sorry.
And popular music is only, yes, it's pretty much is made to be consumed extremely fast, get super quick attention. But there's 8 billion people in the world, and there's so many niches. There's so many people that would actually pay time and money to spend and listen to these long intros. And I think what happens is that people who value that, they're not going to be in amongst the pop crowd, if you know what I mean. So, and I think
so I
that
have to write for everybody in Europe. I have to write for everybody in Europe, right?
Well, I guess so. But if yes, I honestly, well, first of all, I think as soon as you determine your agenda or the end goal where you want to be, which sometimes is extremely difficult if you're just starting out and you don't know your abilities, you don't have that confidence in you, you don't have any support, it's really difficult to figure out where do I want to end up. But if you want to become the global well-known popular artist or songwriter, then yeah, you've got to take that approach of 4 seconds attention grab span, and just give it the best everything in those 4 seconds to make sure people stay on it. But if your principles and your values are I want to take my time introducing you and grabbing you into the song, and I want to go a little bit weird. Obviously, then you've got to understand that you won't grab the most people, but you will find those who will like that and they will support you. And I think the problem is that a lot of new artists, they just start neglecting those people, like those 10 followers that they have on Instagram. But if they realize that those people are who actually like what they do, then they can focus on them and write for them and get feedback from them. But I guess what we're talking about today is how do we make a song that Cheryl brought to the table and actually make it popular, maybe viral, or becoming one of the top Christmas hits. So that obviously is difficult and hard from the production point of view, because you never know, as Randy mentioned, like who are we to tell or to judge that this will or who will determine that this is going to be a hit. But if we're looking amongst what's out there, the Christmas song hits and all the popular stuff, I think you've got to focus on the hook and whether that's lyrics or the melody, it's got to be there no matter what.
Yep.
And if there's none of that, then you're unlikely to keep on people coming back and listening to the song again and again and again, because the hook, that's what stays in their mind after they listen. That's like an aftertaste of the song. And if they don't go away from that song with that hook, then they're unlikely to come back.
Yeah, what's I'm sorry, go ahead, Cheryl. I apologize.
I was just gonna get Oleg to expand on what kind of a hook he put with this song, but I want to hear what your comment is there, Randy.
So I want to show you something real quick. I'm going to give you a quick example, something from my band. Now, this song has an acoustic opening to it, but if I was to do a radio edit, I would not put this opening in there. It's just, I'm going to play like 10 seconds, so you're going to hear that. Now, that's the opening. If you're going to do it on a radio edit, this is what would happen. You hear where I'm going, right? Comes right. I mean, I didn't get it right on the upbeat, but let's see if I can do that. I mean, just like that. So basically, the album version is what we're talking about. The album version versus the radio edit, and that the album version goes right through. But we're 7 seconds, 8 seconds, 9 seconds, 10 seconds. Here we go, and we have not gotten in, and now we're in. What's going to work? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and I mean, years ago, I gave up trying to figure out what was going to work as far as a hit. I mean, I know the things I thought would be horrible. I got a great story, and then I'm going to pass this back. Do you guys know who the Stray Cats are?
I don't.
Does everybody know who the Stray Cats are? Nah, Oleg's too young for this. It's okay. I heard, check this out. I heard a 1-inch reel of the first album of Stray Cat Strut before the album was released. The mother of one of the band, it was a friend of the mother of one of the bandmates in that band, I think it was the bass player in that band, had this tape. And like 2 weeks before the album was released, we were over at the house and she played this, and I'm like, this is like rockabilly from the 50s. I'm like, who's going to listen to this? I go, yeah, granted, sounds great. It's really, it's tight, but nobody's going to listen to this. This is like, this is old school. Boy, did I eat my lunch 2 weeks later. And I was like, the song hit the Stray Cat Strut hit the airwaves, and I'm like, you're kidding me, right? And that album went multi-platinum. So I gave up a long time ago trying to figure out what's going to work and what doesn't, because I have no idea. But go ahead, Cheryl. It's all yours.
It all goes back to knowing your audience, and as Oleg said, knowing your purpose. What's the end result of what you want that song to do or be, or whatever the case may be. So you're right. It is hard to know what works from what couldn't work, because there's so many variables. There's so many variables that are there. Like who's the audience, and do they want the long intros, or do they just want it like that? What's the style of music? And probably the style of music will dictate who the listeners are, because anyone who listens to a certain style of music will have certain expectations related to that music, and therefore that'll also dictate what will work and what not. How many listeners do you have? How many followers? All of that stuff, right? So I can totally relate with that difficulty. So that being the case, wow. What would be the next? I mean, we've been talking about the lyrics and kind of going. That was like a nice bounce off or a kickoff for all these wonderful comments. So next steps. So what would the next step be? Would you now want to listen, for example, to the melody and then make comments about that?
Well, yeah. I mean, you got to obviously. I mean, with the chorus, you have to figure out what you're going to write there. Because if somebody's coming in with a lyric and just singing it, you obviously have to figure out the key, what's comfortable. Okay, well, this is what it is, so let's see what's going to work with that. And then, of course, then there are the verses and the bridge and all the other stuff.
Right. And Oleg, you talked about a hook, right? A hook to the
Yep.
song. Now, what was sent to you, I don't know if there's a hook in there or not, but if there was a hook, what would it be? If there wasn't a hook, what would you suggest as a hook?
Yeah, because we haven't played.
Sorry, go ahead, Daryl.
Sorry. Let me turn up my volume here. So we did send you a little audio sample, but without alluding to that sample, how would you hear a hook in that in the chorus as it is right now? What would you do for a hook? Do you have anything, or do you not have anything?
Well, I really liked what Cheryl did with the Christmas is Calling at the end, and if you can develop that into a repetitive, strong line, I'm sure that this can work out as a hook. Or what was that song? I forgot. I forgot the name of it, but basically, usually, oh my gosh. I'm gonna spend ages now figuring out, trying to remember that song, but I would come up with a melody that could be at the beginning straight into the face that can act as a hook, whether that's going to be played by the guitar or by the piano or whatever sound it may be, as long as it's catchy and it comes with the great harmony and the melody. I think that can really work, and that can be then developed into like a pre-chorus that you can to or la to, and as long as it gets repeated and used within the song at least like 3 times, I think that could work really well. And I think that's what I would practically do.
Okay, cool.
Christmas is Calling is a good idea. That's a great idea. To write around that, to use that as the actual title, and to hook that and use that, because let's face it, want to get a little spiritual here? Christmas hasn't been really calling for a while for a lot of people.
Right.
It's not even a joke. It's serious,
Yes.
I mean, we got to get back to, loving one another. And it wouldn't even necessarily be just a Christmas song, you know what I'm saying? But Christmas is Calling is a great premise to write around the rest of the song. Excellent, Oleg. Excellent. A great idea. And that would be your catch. You work yourself around that.
Right.
All these minds working together.
I love it.
It's a good idea, though. You're inspiring me here.
Should I play the little ditty that was recorded to a cell phone, just so people have an understanding of what we're talking about or where we want to go with it?
Sure.
Okay.
Singing Christmas carols in whatever key they hear it in. Hopes are high, love's in the air. 'Cause Christmas is calling, Christmas is calling.
Okay, so that was the chorus. Yeah.
Now I got to think about what I said earlier and see how it would fit.
Yeah.
Christmas is calling. I mean, that's already kind of hooky. Da, 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 da. I mean, it swings as well. It kind of everything that it has, to stay hooky. And if you develop on that, I think I found a way of how I can introduce my piano into this conversation. So if Randy, you could take over and share whatever thoughts whilst I'm trying to figure that out.
All right. So we said how we were going to redo the lyric, right? So it's Christmas is calling, but figure out what you were singing.
Okay.
And then the rewrite of that lyric we were talking about earlier.
Okay.
So
Christmas is calling everywhere.
So putting Christmas is calling everywhere. So this is
because of the way the meter is, the way you did it.
No. So Christmas is calling everywhere.
Now we want to return to where you were, because Christmas is calling is actually a very solid melody, the way it is. Well, it's calling, Christmas is calling. Christmas is everywhere.
So if we were
Christmas is calling, Christmas is everywhere.
So are you trying to, just so that I understand where you're going, are you trying to fit everywhere in the same melody and time signature, if you want to call it?
I'm trying to, because
Christmas is calling?
Yeah, because that worked. Christmas is calling worked. Ah, we have a piano.
Hearing music.
Look at you go.
Yay!
Okay. And now let me get my acoustic plugged in.
And we're going to try jamming from around the world, and it's all going to be out of sync, but it's all good because this is
I love
jamming as family and friends.
I love it. I love it. So those of you listening from home, enjoy this. This is really fun.
Okay, so you know something? I'll play that rhythm you were just playing.
You guys know what key it's in? Just making sure we're kind of...
It's in the key of G.
Not Daryl's D.
I'm following you, brother.
There's
I see Oleg's looking for sounds.
What?
Your microphone's not on, Oleg.
Oh, he has to switch back and forth. How out of sync was that, by the way, when we played together?
We needed a little bit longer to see what was going to happen.
Okay. So he hooked up his piano and then lost his mic.
Still don't have it. Welcome to live video. No, we don't hear you at all.
Yes.
Yeah, we got the piano.
Okay.
So while they're doing that,
So
I am
Cheryl, why don't you do with the chorus, and let's see if we can play. So you remember what you were singing? So let's see if we can sing together on that. That would be funny. We'll see. You hear me okay, right?
I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
So do you want just the chorus at this point?
Yeah, just like in the tempo that you were, so it would have been 1, 2, 3, 4.
Church bells ring, everybody singing Christmas carols in whatever key they hear it in. Hopes are high, love's in the air. 'Cause Christmas is calling, Christmas is calling. Or I'll say it again with the everywhere in there.
Am I back yet or not?
Yes,
You're back. Oleg's back.
Great.
Can't do both at the same time.
Not this time.
The piano sounded really nice, though.
Yeah. That's fine. So, in terms of progression, I was thinking that we can just take 1, 2, 3 over 1, 4, and then I think we can stay on the 4, and then when it's Christmas is calling, go to 5, and then back to 1.
That would be the chorus.
Yeah, that would be the chorus. Sorry, have I missed the conversation about the verse yet?
Not yet.
No, we didn't go there. I figured we wouldn't even.
We haven't even figured the chorus out yet.
So was that progression, Oleg? That was for the verse, or that was for the chorus? I just want to.
That would be for the chorus, yeah.
Okay, so can you play that progression again?
Yep.
Nice. I wouldn't know how to play that myself, but that's so cool.
What did that sound like on your end? Was it in sync, or was it completely out?
No, definitely not. We weren't expecting it to, but you know what? It gives us an idea. Like I'm loving hearing you walk a little bit with that bass background of yours there too, Randy. I'm hearing you working through a few things. That's my opinion. But it's like, ooh, this is kind of fun.
This is.
Yeah, because like I can play to him, I can hear him, but when it's coming out, I don't know how bad.
No, it's you're off time, and I knew that.
It's sad.
Well,
That's sad because
it's to be expected.
Everybody singing Christmas cards with the kid like da hopes and da. Nah, yeah, you've got to stay in.
Yeah, you're gonna have to keep moving.
Yeah,
you have to keep moving. So
yeah.
Could go anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I could sing that, but unfortunately I can't. But so technically this is as far as I would probably get, just figure out the harmony, the chords. I mean, to be fair, the way you sing that melody already kind of gave me as if you knew what chords were going to be there. I don't know whether that's what you imagined, whether whatever we just played now was what you imagined on your head, but it kind of, I don't know, that's what I heard when I heard your melody. So, and what's great about your sample is that it's very melodic, clear melody. I can work with that really well, and after figuring out that part, then I would probably figure out the verses and the choruses and the pre-choruses, bridges, work out the structure of the song. Whether I'm going to change the key or not, I don't think so, because if you're the singer and you feel comfortable in that key, I'd keep that in there for you, unless there are some rules that I wouldn't know about, the common key signature that fits everyone. I don't think there is. So yeah, and then after spending the time on the structure, I would probably work on the arrangement, come up with the bass line, maybe some guitars, drums, obviously, a lot of bells and dinghies and whatever Christmas sounds I can come up with, and and obviously backing vocals, a lot of it, maybe a choir. So like that's how I would approach it in a very short paragraph that I've just shared, but it would take probably like good day to figure that out.
I actually also hear in my head, and to see if you agree with me, I hear like a shuffle beat in a drum kit.
Yeah,
it's a very open like old school. Yep.
Yeah,
With
because
a very open, loose snare.
Yeah, with
like
the brushes,
very,
most likely.
Like an old school, almost jazz, but
Yeah.
but it's like a rockabilly jazz type, but get a very
Yeah.
old type of drum kit that's got that very vintage
Yeah.
vibe to it, and just do a
Yeah.
nice shuffle. Doesn't have to be aggressive.
No. Yeah. It's almost that "Don't Worry, Be Happy" song. Like,
Yeah,
pretty
kind
much.
of.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm hearing. That kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
That
No.
and it's an upbeat beat.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
which is what a Christmas song needs, is an upbeat beat.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Cheryl, I can see her wheels are spinning. She's like, I'm writing all this down.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like with the bass line of double bass playing something behind, yeah, that would work really well. But then it can then, so starting with small shuffly quiet sound, this song can develop into something huge with a quiet towards the bridge maybe, and then
Yeah.
go bananas at the very last chorus and explode
See, this
with
guy
the,
writes like I write. Daryl,
Yeah.
layering. You haven't been
Of
around.
course,
We
yes.
told this in the back. I always sort of start off low. You have room to move and build and build and build. And
yeah.
at the back end, you don't come out of the gate, well, unless of course it's a metal song or something like that, but don't come out of the gate just blasting where you have nowhere to go. But yeah,
Right.
that's it. And
Yeah,
a Christmas
Randy-
song, that's always the way it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
No, I was going to say that, one of the songwriters I work with, we released this song that it perfectly describes of what you're saying. And I've got the whole BBC Symphony Orchestra, in the
Nice.
bridge going, right there through it. And like it literally, explodes towards the last chorus, and with all the ear candies and all of that. It's very dramatic song. The name of it is even very dramatic, called Ghost of a Man. So and you can be extremely dramatic with something that's jolly, and I think this song is quite jolly. And if we can make it dramatic, I think that's what can determine sort of the popularity or success of it, because the song grows and develops into something that people like stories. And I think if you introduce stories through the arrangement and the structure of the song, people will fall in love with it. People can either hate it or love it, or at least feel something towards it. As long as they feel something towards it, who cares whether they're gonna listen to it again.
By the way,
Or
Daryl,
they listen like,
Cheryl, I would actually throw this at you. I would start the song with the chorus.
yeah.
Great idea. 100%
You
agree.
hit him out of the gate with the chorus and then come back in. And that's classic Christmas, if you ever heard it. Shoot him with the chorus and then loop back around and go into the song.
Yeah, that's your hook. That's
But
your hook.
simple, but do it. But in the chorus in the beginning is very simple. So it could be just to do.
Right.
Daryl, are you trying to say something?
Here we go. I got to turn my mic. Yes. Would you hit them? No wonder why I'm so quiet. Would you hit them with the lyric first at the top, or would you hit them with the hook? With that hook?
No, the
on an
whole
instrumental?
chorus.
The whole chorus.
But
Yeah.
do you want the lyric, or do you want to hit them with
Yep.
the chorus on with an instrumental?
No, the whole chorus, the lyric, everything.
Yeah.
Because
Okay,
the
so
message comes out of the gate.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the next question is, would this start off slow and dramatic and then get back to the upbeat, or would that just be hit it right off the
No,
bat?
the rhythm, the tempo would be the same.
Tempo
We
would
would
be
keep
the
it,
same?
but we keep it very simple.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's just,
Yeah.
and you're hearing the bells, ching 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 ching.
Ah,
But really
okay.
subtle, very simple, Nothing, you can literally hear the snow pellets hitting the ground,
Yes.
and even bring the sleigh bells way in the distance.
Yeah.
And slowly, you can literally have the drums and the sleigh bells and stuff like that very back and start pulling it in. But have maybe either the piano or an acoustic or something of that, like a dobro or something like that. Just start off just very simple. And you sing the chorus, and then out of that chorus you come in and you've got a full band, but you're still not blowing out
everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
You just come into the regular rhythm and you're going forward.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm inspired by right now. But yeah, that's what I think. And like I said, who am I?
A very creative individual.
No, it's like, what does they say? What is this? What do you say something and then you go, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, but if you don't make mistakes, you don't know what's right. So I think if you go with your first instincts and you get it out there, and if it doesn't work, but I'm like in this case, it's going to be difficult, to determine whether that's right or wrong. If the context of the song or the song itself is amazing, no matter whether you're going to have chorus first or the verse first, will affect the content of the song. It will only affect the attention span. I think that's the only difference.
Right.
And then coming out of the gate with the chorus, you got their attention immediately.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's going to work really well.
You already won that. That little check that little box.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, disclaimer: anything that you hear or see on this today is copyrighted by GMIHub Online. The copyrights of these is solely for the intended use for. Don't steal our song.
Yeah.
You better get this copyrighted quick, Cheryl.
I know. The fact that it's recorded is a sign of it being copyrighted.
Yeah, it's stamped. It's time. This is time stamped.
This is time.
Somebody told me today that's very interesting. People are turning around and just going into the back end when you're talking about the producing and the mastering and stuff. Bands are sending out the stems of the finished tracks to songs. And for a fee, you can take them and mix them how you see fit. Smart. Because then you get somebody who's really good, who doesn't know it yet, and they mix your song for free.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's been some go on, but I just thought that was really, there's more and more bands, supposedly metal bands, are doing this. I didn't know, but go figure.
Well, if
shut that down before it pops. Go ahead.
Well, if you've been watching this, you've just seen just the beginning stages of taking a song that's from just a sample and hearing what a producer, actually now two producers, have come up with the chords, the ideas of how the song can grow. And as you probably have heard, there's a lot of creativity that's behind the scenes as well. Even as a songwriter, maybe you get together with other songwriters, but producers have that songwriting ability too, and they have the ability to hear the arrangement in ways that maybe you haven't heard before. So I'm hoping that as you watch this, that you've learned a lot. And we're hoping that we can continue this whole process and see how this grows. And who knows, you might end up hearing a new Christmas song coming from me. Imagine that. So, and of course,
I'm going to jump in here. And what people don't understand is, as we did this, they Randy didn't hear any of the samples until about 5 minutes before we went to air. Oleg probably heard it about 5 hours ago. So they walked into this unknowns of what was actually happening on this. So kudos for them for actually coming up and ripping up some great ideas. And people going, well, this isn't great TV or whatever else. But this is TV. This is educational. you're seeing how the mindset of producers work and other creatives. And that's what this is about. It's not about a TV show. This is an education. And now you're getting two experts and you're watching them build something that they literally just heard within a matter of hours before we started the topic tonight.
And a disclaimer, my bad, because I was supposed to listen to the file before I came on, and I didn't listen to it at all. So, yeah, literally heard it seconds before we went on air. So, yeah.
But kudos again. I repeat what Daryl said. Kudos to you because you were able to listen to it within 5 minutes and you had ideas of, hey, I see where this is going and I see how this could work and not work. And I can hear this. I can hear this. I mean, that's a testimony to your ability, your God-given gift as a producer. So thank you for sharing that. And same to you, Oleg. Thank you for sharing that. And as I said,
and remember,
this song
one's from London, England, one's from New York, and we're here, I'll call it in Toronto. And they're collaborating from all around the world. Yes, we have some timing issues because of the internet and servers and all the cool, fun stuff. But that still allows us to be creative and hear and feel what other people around the world are doing. Why not tag into this?
That's right. That's right. Now, if you haven't experienced this, you are now experiencing what collaboration around the world is. This is what technology has done. It's made the world that much smaller. And it's so awesome to meet great people, talented people to help you with things like your songs, your music. Randy and Oleg are, as you can tell, very talented and very good at what they do. If you're wanting to contact them for your music songs, or you want to get ideas from them, we will provide their contact information for you in the description below. But in the meantime, I think we need to reschedule so we can do more of this creative stuff because I'm having fun hearing all of this. And the reason I'm having fun, as I'll say this as a songwriter, it's great to hear different ideas coming back because now there's a new inspiration towards this song. And, some of the ideas that may have come to me originally would be, oh, wait a minute, I like your idea better. So maybe we'll go over here and do this instead. And this may change how the verses go or how, as you say, the bridge or the pre-chorus would go. It can change a lot. So this is awesome. And also what I found interesting is when Daryl originally asked Randy and Oleg, Daryl said, Randy is more the rock country guy. And Oleg is like the hip hop. Is that right? Is it hip hop or is it
hip hop dance?
Well, I barely done any hip hop, but let's just say it electronic music.
Electronic music. There we go.
Yeah, let's just for the sake of the contrast.
Right. So imagine that. Like we wanted to bring that up to you. Like these are people that are stronger in different music styles, and yet they were able to come together over one song and have a similar idea about how it felt and some of the ideas that they would put towards it. So I just really appreciated all of this as a songwriter. So I wish I could grab you guys live and just kind of go, okay, let's do this. Let's have a jam session right now.
Fly us on in.
Yeah.
I know, eh?
If we were all together in the same room right now, like 8 hours wouldn't be enough.
I hear you.
The thing about it is, what's great is like if you look at a lot of the bands that actually made very good success, the musicians within those groups were from different styles.
Yeah.
And it's a chemistry that works. It either works or it doesn't. Mm-hmm. Look at the Eagles, for example. All those musicians were they had all different feels to their music. If Joe Walsh, Don Henley, those two, if you listen to their music, their separate music, it's not really the same by a long shot. That's good musicians. People who have ears and they hear the rhythms. It's like we hear your vocal, we hear the way you approached the rhythm of it. Any good musician is going to be able to pick that up. And if you're a producer that's worth anything, you really ultimately are a musician. Producers, engineers can learn how to hear, but honestly, a good engineer / producer has to be a musician, because you can't bring the best out of people if you're not really doing it.
Yeah.
I believe, to be honest with you.
No, that's awesome, and that's true. I think that's very true, and I think the same rule would even go for the technical side. I think Daryl has said to me several times that having that musical knowledge even helps people behind the scenes with the audio and visual stuff kind of know how to anticipate how a song goes in order to capture a shot, or even understand what to bring up and down, or what to emphasize in sound. I'm saying that probably in very layman terms compared to what Daryl would normally say. but
Yeah.
You're gonna save me, Daryl. I'm trying to say the wrong stuff.
She launched that grenade into the middle of the room.
Let me calm down.
Yes, there you go. I love it.
Let me bring it down.
Wait a minute, hold on a second. The musical stylings of Oleg. Smoothness to mellow your evening.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
As everybody's like, especially poor Oleg. What is it, midnight? It's after midnight over there.
Yeah, it's after midnight.
After midnight. Oh my goodness.
Great song, After Midnight.
Go ahead,
Actually, to what you were saying about being, let's say, an engineer, or the technical guy. Let's call that. I work sometimes with live music as well, and I've been doing monitors for the band literally last Wednesday, and what really helped is that I could understand and feel what musicians needed in the moment, and I was feeling it with them. And after the gig, they all came up to me and said, well, whatever you did with our ears was amazing, because we felt comfortable. We knew what we needed. And they also had like when they were performing heavy music like rock, metal, and they had the ambient microphones as well. And sometimes literally in between the songs, I would bring them up into their ears, and they would feel absolutely immersed into what's happening with the audience. And I believe that anything that we do as musicians or engineers or technical guys or songwriters is to have that connection with an audience. And as soon as we have that, as soon as we're immersed into that feedback of what they're experiencing, then I think that's where it hits the right spot for us, and that's where the greatest gratification comes, and you're there in the moment, receiving and energizing and giving at the same time. And I think, no matter your title, I think it's all about having that connection and understanding the audience that you're trying to serve and the people that you're trying to connect with that audience.
Yes.
That's so funny that you say that, because honestly, the way I've always mixed, you've got an engineer's going to make or break a band live. Okay.
Right.
And I've always been, for the most part, and there's been a few exceptions, and of course there's always going to be, I've always had, been very well liked with the way I mix bands live. You've got to have the gut of the instinct of being able to hear what they're doing. And that was one thing I wanted to bring into this whole thing. If you're going to record a band, they were going to bring a song to you. A lot of times, sometimes they'll bring ideas, or they'll have tracks that are finished. I have a tendency to want to hear what the band really sounds like before I even want to touch their material, because somebody's going to record somebody, and you're going to listen to those tracks, and you're going to go back and play for me. Let me hear what you sound like. It doesn't sound anything like what they sound like. It's like, what were they thinking? And then that's the best piece of advice I could give like if a band already has things established and they're ready to go, you need to get a nice 2-track recorder and record you. What do you sound like? And is this really, and then that also helps you when you go to record and write later. if you're recording it and listening back and listening to how it sounds, are we conflicting with each other? Are the guitars in sync with one another? Or are we bashing heads? Because like people can bang the heck out of a keyboard, guitars and everything else, and just make it a jumbled mess. But if you listen and you hear get to the point where you're able to form cohesive unit within all the instruments, everything complements each other instead of banging against each other, you then become a band that's a musical act that is something to be reckoned with. And it'll also help you when you go to record, because there'll be less time tracking, because a lot of people, including myself, when I was recording, I had ideas, we were playing it and it sounded great, and then when I went to track it, I'm like, that doesn't work. When I got it under the microscope, this is that's not, I have to redo that. So, the microscope of recording is very unforgiving. It will expose everything that's weak in your songs. So if you got ideas and it's a full band, take a 2-track and start listening to it. Get a couple of good mics, get a nice ambient live room and sound, and record your stuff and listen back and keep working it. That's the best advice I could ever give bands when they're recording, when they're starting out. Because once you've established yourself and you know as a band or as an artist what you need to do to accomplish what you want, after a while it just comes automatic. But in the beginning, that's why a lot of artists, like they used to say, why do you take a brand new artist and you groom them for 2 years and they don't record a thing? Because they have to learn how to become a songwriter or an artist. That's what that's all about. They don't do that anymore, but they used to do that a lot. So, sorry, I digress.
No, I think that's a very good point. Well taken. Well taken. Well, Daryl, do you have any other comments, any direction you want to go? What did you learn from this?
You know what? I'll say this with the whole song, is we've been mulling with that for probably 2 years now. Just that little, well, you've got more done. And I know we've probably talked amongst ourselves, and I think there's a lot of ideas that are sitting similarly. And as you guys are talking about it, my head's going on, I know where I'd like to go with it. You guys gave me some great ideas. I'm not a producer. If anything, I can hit the drums a wee bit, but doesn't mean I can't sit there and give ideas. And I think this can be quite the bringer of a song.
Well, you're producing this show, dude, so you are a producer of sorts.
Yes. But there's music producers, which is a whole different thing. So, but
it's all good.
Anyways, it is 8:20. I know Oleg is probably about 20 after 12, or is it 20 after 1 there? Randy, I know you're just 5 hours south of us, so you guys are still 5 hours away. Yes,
I can
Oleg.
I can still keep rolling.
I love it. And with that, Daryl, he's gonna jam us out.
Come on, it's not even 2 a.m. Tip your bartenders and waitresses.
No, listen. When we had our previous conversation, I was in Greece and it was like 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. That was really, I mean, I probably, my face was captured on that session, like being madman, because I was trying to be in the conversation, but I think my body or soul was out of my body at the time. Now I'm so much better and more present, and obviously anything to do with production, songwriting super ignites me, excites me. So I mean, I'm happy to talk for hours, but you've got other times, and obviously, Daryl, you take over. Whenever you say I shut up, that's when I shut up. That's all.
Keep playing this, and Cheryl's I'll put you underneath, and Cheryl's going to talk us out, and we'll go with that. How about that? And then when we're done, I'll run some commercials, and we can sit and talk afterwards. That's all right.
Just one little thing, Oleg. Here you go. Nice little reverb as you play. Okay, it's all yours, guys. I'm gonna get out.
Well, as you saw, we were just doing this. I hope you have learned a lot from what this conversation was. We hope to be continuing this in another episode. But for next week, remember to like, subscribe, go to GMIHub.ca to learn more about what we're doing and what we have to offer you as a company that just wants to help build the infrastructure of the gospel music industry or the Christian music industry. We're here for you. We're here to support you. So check us out on our social medias. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on Twitter, and we're here on YouTube. Thanks so much for joining us. Yes, hit the like, hit the subscribe again, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.
Now is the time to submit your original Christmas song.
The Who is You. If you're a songwriter and would love to be a part of our Christmas compilation project, then you're in the right place.
Where can you submit? GMIHub.ca is the place. Please visit our website at GMIHub.ca and click on Family Christmas to find out how you can submit your song today.
You could be a part of the GMI Hub Family Christmas Volume 4.
GMIHub is accepting new songs for their 2023 Christmas compilation. To find out how to submit your song, go to www.gmihub.ca today. GMI Hub Family Christmas Volume 4.